Tonight from the Spanos Center at the University of Pacific in Stockton, California, it's the Northern California Division II semifinal matchup. Tonight pitting the Menlo Knights, champions of the Central Coast section, and the Anderson Cubs, champions of the Northern section. The Anderson Cubs, Menlo's opponent tonight, come in with a record of 20-4. They're the champions of the Northern Athletic League, had a 9-1 record in league play. To get here in the Northern section playoffs, they defeated Oroville 75-54 and then triumphed over Pleasant Valley of Chico in a 41-39 game that saw the Northern Athletic League's most valuable player, Jeff Davis, sink a 30-foot shot at the buzzer to win it. Anderson's strength are very similar to a team Menlo played recently, the Jefferson Indians. Anderson has a good deal of depth. They use up to 9 players in a game. So they try to force a fast tempo and press as much as they can. And this brings up an interesting point in contrast to Menlo's style of play. And to comment on that, we're fortunate to have here again Mr. Pete Abner.
Thanks very much, Ian. Well, Menlo on the season has actually had 3 kinds of tempos. They can either fast break, rebound, and go. They can either go into a business-like up-tempo game, which they did much against Jefferson, or they can go into a 4-corner offense, which they've done throughout the season and done it very well. That's one thing that Menlo has in its favor. They are not a one-dimensional team. They are multi-dimensional. The other factor with Menlo that makes them a great team is that other teams against Menlo will maybe have 1 or 2 or even 3 good players that they can match up against the Knights. But Menlo has 5 good players. And when you put the 5 good players together in one team, that spells victory, and I think that's what's made Menlo an outstanding team throughout the season, Ian.
All right, thank you, Pete. And in fairness to Anderson, we must point out that the Pleasant Valley coach who lost to Anderson in the North Section Finals did say that Anderson, while they like to run the ball, can play just as adequately in the setup type of offense. So we're only a minute away, and we've been from San Bruno to San Jose to Stockton, and next it's going to be Oakland or Los Angeles for the winner of this game and the winner of tomorrow night's game, possibly. We'll be back in just a minute to see who it will be. We're ready to roll on the player introductions now. For Anderson at guard, number 25. This is Jeff Taylor. Or 21, excuse me. This is Jeff Davis. 6'1" guard for Anderson. Drew Ferrando at guard for Menlo. Drew at 5'11", plays point guard for the Knights. Number 25, Jeff Taylor, the most valuable player in the Northern Athletic League. Averaged only 8 points a game, but his leadership got him that most valuable player award. Here's John Pay, number 10 for Menlo. John comes in averaging 19.3 points a game for the 4 playoff games that Menlo has had. At center, Alex Rafalovich for the Anderson Cubs. 5.7-point average. Eric Reveno for Menlo. At center, Eric's been averaging 13.8 points a game and 13.3 rebounds a game through the playoffs. Number 32 is Todd Province, 9 points per game average. Brian Protiva, number 34, he's really come on in the playoffs, averaging 11.5 points a game. Max Snyder, the leading scorer for the Anderson Cubs, only 11.3 points a game, which helps show the balance that the Anderson Cubs have in their scoring. Matt Halpern at the other forward for Menlo. And an interesting note tonight, Pete, is that David Dove, a player who started at forward much of the time for Menlo last year, will be back for Menlo after missing the first 32 games of the season. He's been practicing all week, and apparently the pain in his knee after the surgery hasn't hurt him too much, and it'll be interesting to see how much playing time he gets and what his effect or his presence will, how his presence will affect the team.
Well, you know, Ian, I was looking down the roster for Anderson. They play 5 and then substitute 2 right away. And, of course, Menlo with 5 and 1 sub. Now that gives Menlo another important substitute, and maybe Dave will work in nicely with the Menlo offense.
Well, let's hope so. There's always the possibility, though, that after such a successful season, the addition of another player might break up the constitution of a team. Although with a closely knit group like the Knights, that doesn't seem likely to happen. We're ready to go. Alex Rafalovic squares off against Eric Revenot, and Revenot wins the tip over the 6'5" Rafalovic. John Pay comes down with it, and the Northern California semifinal is underway. Revenot down low, gets inside Rafalovic and misses the layup. Rafalovic bounced back on defense. Eric Revenot throughout the playoffs has been a slow starter, often going through the first quarter with nowhere 1 or 2 points. But in every game, he has come on strong in the later stages. John Pay drives the lane and puts one up too hard off the glass. Revenot controls the tip. And is he fouled on the way up? Yes. The call is on Rafalovic at the center, number 34. His first personal foul. Revenot to the line. The foul was called on Max Snyder rather than Rafalovic, and Revenot throws it up hard off the front rim. Shooting 2, Revenot has another chance, and again, this one's short. He goes 0 for 2 from the line. This is Jeff Davis on the right perimeter. Menlo in his zone defense. Protiva presses from behind. The shot from the left side is in and out, curling out. That was Todd Province on the shot. Pay controls it. Outlet pass to Ferrando. Ferrando brings it back out on top, and he's slapped by Jeff Taylor. Menlo inbound from the side after Taylor picks up his first foul.
His first, second team.
Pay lobs to Revenot on the high post. And Anderson has come out and matching up 1-to-1, man-on-man rather, defense. And as Revenot takes it to the basket from the left side, another foul is called. Rafalovic picks up his first, and quickly now, within the first minute and 18 seconds of the first quarter, Anderson has picked up 3 team fouls. Eric Revenot has another chance from the line, and this time he gets the first one to call over. He's 1 for 3 from the line, and Menlo has picked up the first points of the game. With 6:42 remaining in the first quarter, it's 1-0, and we'll make it 2. Revenot has 2 points. So after missing 2 the first time he went to the line, Revenot comes back to nail 2 this time. Driving all the way to the basket, that was Taylor. Taylor's layup is too hard, but Rafalovic is there to tip it home. Rafalovic picks up his first rebound of the night, throws it in to tie up the game. It's 2-all. Pay holding the ball aloft, gets a pick from Revenot. Rafalovic pulls the switch well. Now they switch back. Protiva uses the glass and misses badly, but Revenot is there to get the offensive rebound. Revenot follows it up. Eric Revenot picks up 4 points in the first quarter here, which is about twice as much as he's been averaging in the first quarter throughout the playoffs. A bomb from the outside by Max Snyder is no good. Protiva comes down with the rebound, bounce pass to Ferrando. Ferrando's shot is slapped on the way up, but it helps it in. It looked like Jeff Davis was there to get a hand on that shot by Ferrando, and he probably helps it in. Now a bounce pass goes to Snyder. This is Province. Province tries the lane. It's slapped away by Ferrando, and they call the foul on Ferrando, saying he made contact up around the free throw line. And inbound on top, this is Jeff Taylor. Now it's Snyder. Snyder throws it past Rafalovic. It's retained by Davis. 6-2 lead for the Knights. Taylor from the left side, no good. Offensive rebound to Snyder, or rather Province. His shot's no good. Reveno comes down with the outlet to Ferrando. Ferrando has knocked away. Protiva picks it up. Protiva brings down, hesitates, stutters on the dribble, goes to the right baseline, puts up a rainbow, no good. Tip Reveno, no good. And there's another foul from outside, and Alkline is furious with Brian Protiva, telling him to slow down the pace. 4 team fouls already in this half for Anderson. That could get them in trouble, because they've still got almost 13 minutes remaining in the entire first half, and only one more team foul will put Menlo in the bonus shooting situation. Now Menlo's working it a little more patiently on the outside. They get the open shot for John Pay, and he cans it. John Pay from 12 feet picks up his first points of the night. Pay, Ferrando each have 2 now, and Reveno has 4. It's an 8-2 lead for Menlo. Jeff Davis puts it on the floor, hesitation on the shot, puts it up, no good. Rebound for John Pay. John chooses to bring it up himself. The Knights come into tonight's game ranked number 1 out of all Division II basketball teams in the state of California. Anderson unranked, lob pass to Protiva, backdoor. Was there goaltending? No, but Reveno's there again. Again, Eric Reveno for the tip. And Anderson quickly calls timeout. There's 3:49 left in the first quarter, and the Menlo Knights have jumped out to a 10-2 lead. Anderson inbounds. And from the left side, that's number 24 into the game. Anderson makes the steal. This is Jeff Taylor. Comes back in the bomb by number 24, who doesn't appear to be on my roster at least. Makes it from the left side. It must be someone who's missing a jersey. He took 2 shots in that one as he missed the first one, and the rebound came out. Jeff Taylor made the steal, went to 24 again. He made the score, and Reveno takes to the basket. He gets the bounce pass from Protiva along the baseline. He's fouled on his way up. 12-4, and Reveno will go to the line for a 3-point play. Reveno at the line trying to convert a 3-point play. Does so. 9-point lead for the Knights. It's 13-4. And Eric Reveno has 9 points on the first quarter. This is Max Snyder with that shot. No good. Tipped rebound comes out. Jeff Davis from the right baseline. No good. Gets his own rebound back. Puts it up and in. A long rebound by Jeff Davis enabled him to get a reprieve from that first missed shot and pull his team within 7. Anderson remains in a man-to-man. They've got Pay back door. Give and go from Protiva to Ferrando. Ferrando has it knocked away after clutching it. And the ball's knocked out of bounds by Jeff Davis. Menlo will get it back. Alpern inbound. Finds Ferrando. Menlo hasn't been getting the ball to Matt Halpern much. I can't remember even calling his name on the ball until just now. John Pay in the lane. Hook shot rejected. Pay saves it, but it's taken by Todd Province. Province to Davis. Got a lead to cut it back to 5. This is Jeff Taylor. Taylor with the open shot, and he cans it. And it's a 13-8 ball game. Anderson back within 5 now. They had fallen behind 10-2 before calling timeout. Drew Ferrando brings it all the way into the forecourt. Menlo posting everyone up high. Reveno's leaving a lot of space underneath. Now he moves farther down into the lane. Pay's got another back door open for a moment, but Jeff Davis covers it. Pay has the ball now. Inside it goes to Reveno. Reveno to Halpern. Halpern's got an open 15-footer, and he nails it. Matt Halpern hits the open 15-footer from the free throw line. It's 15-8 for Menlo. Rafalovic drives on Halpern, puts it up. No good, air ball. Protiva comes down with it. Protiva's got 3 rebounds, outlet pass. Ferrando throws it up high off the glass. Wild shot, no good. Rebound for Province. Province outlet to Taylor. Taylor hesitation on the dribble, dribbles it off his foot, picks it up, goes to Taylor, or to Davis. Taylor with the bomb. 19 feet, no good. Halpern pulls it down, and Ferrando walks at the outlet pass. Ferrando didn't get it down on the floor quick enough, and he walked. Taylor goes to Snyder on the right side, and that was Snyder hitting the shot. It was Province who had it on the right side. It bounced the pass to Max Snyder, the leading scorer for Anderson. And Snyder hit the jumper. 15-10, a 5-point lead again for the Knights. The Knights certainly the favorite coming in tonight. Pay's open, he lost his man Jeff Davis, and he puts it in off the glass from 14. John Pay ran through a whole mass of players who had conglomerated around the free throw line, and Jeff Davis, the man covering him, practically had to run around the backboard to get to him. On the other end, Jeff Taylor makes the basket for Anderson, and Matt Halpern's long shot at the end of the first quarter hits the glass, but nothing else. And we've played 8 minutes, and Anderson has mounted a small comeback, coming back to within a deficit of 5 points at the end of the first quarter. It's Menlo 17 and Anderson 12. Anderson wins the tip at the start of the second quarter, and immediately there's a foul after the missed shot. Pete Ebner's got a comment for us about the first quarter of play.
Yeah, and I think the big key to the turnover for Anderson was when they picked off an inbounds pass, and then they started to score after that when they were down 10-2, and then all of a sudden they had 10 more points. So that was the key for Anderson in the first quarter.
It's always funny how in a game, any game such as basketball, football, any game, an interception or an inbounds pickoff of a pass or in basketball can turn the momentum so quickly. John Pay going to the line as Anderson's now in the foul, or Menlo has reached the bonus situation on free throws, so Pay was fouled on the rebound of Max Snyder's shot at the other end. Goes to the line, hits the first shot. He's got 5 points. Max Snyder picked up his second foul there, I believe. And Pay hits both. Menlo on top 19-12. This is Todd Province with a 20-footer, and he hits it off the glass. Anderson apparently willing to play to Menlo's tempo. They're known to be a running team who can run whenever they can, but perhaps they realize that how adept Menlo is at controlling the tempo of a game, and they've chosen to try to avoid running. And their shooting was a little cold at the start, but now they're starting to show a capability for hitting that outside shot. Bounce pass down low from Ferrando to Pay is deflected off of number 20. That's Tim Jacobson in for Anderson. Menlo inbound. Protiva lobs it too far for Reveno. Protiva's now chasing Davis, or rather Taylor at the other end, but he can't catch him. Taylor lays it in with the left hand and cuts the deficit to 3. So an 8-point deficit midway through the first quarter has been cut to 3 already by the Anderson Cubs. 6:40 remaining. First half. John Pay switches the dribble, falls down, keeps the dribble with the right hand. A great job by John Pay to avoid the walk. He was tripped on the way to the basket there. There was no call. Halpern's got it on top. Reveno's down low. Reveno hesitation, puts it up off the glass, no good. Tip by Halpern, no good. And there's a 2-on-1. All the way to the basket is Jacobson. Jacobson looked like he might have been fouled by Ferrando on the way up, and there's no call, and Jacobson semi-hurls the ball at the referee on his way down, unhappy with the fact that he didn't get a call. Darren Gibson, number 22, into the game for the Cubs. 19-16 is the score. Halpern bounce pass down low. Pay with the spin, and he's fouled on the way to the hoop, and he'll go to the line. Pay to the line. He's got 6 points so far tonight. Reveno leading the Knights with 9. Jeff Taylor has 6 for Anderson. No one else in Anderson has more than 2. And the second one for Pay rolls tantalizingly close and pops out, so it's a 4-point lead for Menlo, 20-16. Pay has 7 points. Jacobson from 17, no good. Pay comes down with the rebound. He's got a break. Ferrando pulls up, floats one up, no good. Too hard off the back rim, and again there's a foul on the rebound. And this time it's on John Pay, and we won't be going to the other end either. It's no bonus situation, only the second team foul, so Anderson will inbound under their own basket. John Pay picks up his first foul. In and out is the shot by Darren Gibson. And the ball rolls off Menlo, apparently. Eric Reveno had thought it was rolling off of Anderson and chose to let it go. But Anderson roll inbound. They have a chance to cut the lead down to 2 points now. Darren Gibson inbounds. This is Province. Province from the right baseline, no good. Reveno comes down with his 5th rebound. And Pay waits for Eric to get into position. Reveno posts high. Ferrando to Pay. Anderson still remains in the man-on-man defense. Protiva tries to lob inside to the double-teamed Reveno. It's intercepted easily by Rafalovic. Now this is Province inside, and Province is fouled as he tries to go up from behind the glass. Protiva picks up his first foul. Third team for Menlo. They're only 2 away from putting Anderson in the bonus situation. There's 4:59 left in the first half. Todd Province hits 2 for 2. And it's a 20-18 lead now for Menlo, and Menlo calls timeout. And they've seen an 8-point lead cut to 2 since the middle of the first quarter. We're now approaching the midway point of the second quarter, and Menlo holds a 20-18 lead. John Pay breakaway pass to Drew Ferrando, opening it up, bounces down low to Protiva, and Protiva lays it in with the right hand, spin off the glass. Nice play by Brian Protiva, having to haul to a quick stop and throw one up off the glass with 2 men approaching him from behind. And Jeff Davis looking for Darren Gibson. Passes to Gibson just as Gibson breaks to the basket. Menlo will get to inbound from the side. Boosted their lead back up to 4. It's 22-18. Those points for Protiva were his first of the game. Ferrando double teamed in the quarter. Menlo has yet to go to the 4 corners, and Halpern's pass is batted away by Davis. Inbound into the backcourt now. Both Halpern and Reveno are posted up high on the free throw line now. Inside it goes to Ferrando. Ferrando with a little turnaround air balls it from about 3 feet. John Pay throws up a right-hand hook off the glass. No good. Todd Province comes down with the rebound. Protiva makes the steal from behind. How often do we see him do that? Gives to Ferrando on top. Brian Protiva with the ever-present hustle. And now there's 3 substitutions entering the game for Anderson, after Tim Jacobson commits the foul and sends John Pay to the line, Jacobson picks up his second foul. Jeff Davis, Alex Rafalovich, Max Snyder, Jeff Taylor, and the unidentified number 24 is the lineup for Anderson at this time. Pay's first free throw rolled around and dropped through. Fitzpatrick enters the game for Ferranda, the first substitution for Menlo, and Pay hits 2 of 2. He's got 9. Menlo on top 24-18, stretches the lead back out to 6 now. 3:50 remaining, second quarter. Jeff Taylor with the dribble on top, guarded by Fitzpatrick. Menlo also on a one-on-one, man-to-man defense. Jeff Davis has the open shot from the outside, and John Pay is called for the foul away from the ball. That's the 4th team foul on Menlo, so one more will put Anderson at the line. Davis with the shot from the left baseline again. There's a foul call as Anderson misses the shot. And must have been a push under the basket. Max Snyder picks up the foul. They say that's only his second. That's correct. And Protiva will go to the line on the other end now. Brian Protiva shooting a 1-and-1, hustles after his own missed shot but can't get the rebound as Snyder comes down with it. Outlet to Jeff Taylor. Taylor pulls up on the right side, goes to Davis on top. Taylor, a 14-footer, it's around and out. Rebound Revino, Rafalovich on the foul. Reaching in and catching a bit of Revino's arm, and Rafalovich, the center for Anderson, has picked up his 3rd foul. Todd Province immediately enters the game for Alex Rafalovich, who picked up his 3rd foul. 1-on-1 situation, Revino hits the first one. Gives him 10 points. He has 10, Pay has 9 for Menlo. Revino's second, bounces twice in the rim, no good. Jeff Davis dribbles between the legs, goes to Taylor on top. Taylor can't find anyone. Now he goes to 24. Davis has the open shot. It's short, no good. Pay with the rebound. Sean Pay has 4 rebounds. Eric Revino is skied for 5 so far, unofficially. Menlo has a 7-point lead. It's 25-18. Their biggest lead of the night was 8 at 10-2 in the first quarter. Revino comes out, open space underneath the basket. Now he falls back. Protiva holds the ball, right side. Bounce pass low to Pay. Pay spins to the right, puts it up off the glass too hard, no good. Outlet pass goes to Taylor. Taylor pulls up, 12-footer off the glass, and he hits it. Jeff Taylor, 8 points on the night, and that's equal to his average. For the whole season, he averaged 8.1 points a game. Anderson, again, very balanced scoring. Their leading scorer, only a little over 11 points a game. Protiva finds Pay on top. Lob pass underneath the Revino. Revino to the basket, and he lays in off the glass. And Eric Revino gets the ball down there in the key. Especially likes to have it on the left side of the lane. He's got 12 points now. When he gets it down there, he spins to the basket, and he's almost unstoppable with his height. Reaches those long arms out, and he's only got about a 2-foot shot. Foul on Eric Revino puts Anderson in the bonus shooting situation, and Max Snyder goes to the line and hits the first one. It's 27-21. There's a minute 50 left in the first half. Max Snyder, the leading scorer for Anderson, now has only 3 points. He misses the second one, and Revino comes down with the 6th rebound. Outlet pass to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick slows it down, goes to Pay on top. Pay finds Protiva. And Halpern makes a dive for the pass, but it goes into the backcourt as Halpern was beginning to break to the basket just as Protiva bounced the pass to him. Couldn't come back with it, and Fitzpatrick had to retreat into the backcourt to pick it up. Turnover for Menlo. And Taylor switches the dribble left to right, goes to Province. Province puts it up from the right side. There must have been a foul on the shot, and there was. Protiva picks it up. He's got 2, and Province will go to the line to try to cut the lead to 4 or 5. Todd Province picks up his 5th point of the night. Ferrando back into the game for Bob Fitzpatrick. Second shot is in and out, and coming down with the rebound is 24. His shot's rejected by Reveno. Loose ball. Snyder's shot is no good, and Protiva comes down with the rebound and is fouled, and he'll go to the line on the other end. 1-on-1 situation, and Protiva's shot is no good, and Halpern is called for the foul, reaching over the back. 1:12 remaining in the first quarter. Todd Province, it's the first end of a 1-on-1. Number 24 has been identified as Tim Moore, number 24 of Anderson. Apparently inadvertently left out of the program, unless he was just added to the roster perhaps, as Dave Dove was. 7 points for Todd Province as he hits both ends of the 1-on-1, cuts the lead to 27-24. We're moving in on the 1-minute mark left to play in the first half, and Menlo holds a 3-point lead. Number 1 ranked Knights playing the unranked Anderson Cubs and leading by only 3 points. It's 27-24. And now they're working for the final shot of the half, apparently, as they've gone into the 4 corners with Pay operating in the middle. But Pay's playing it more aggressively, and he goes to Reveno, and Reveno flies to the hoop and lays it in with the right hand with 35 seconds remaining in the half. Menlo goes back on top by 5. Reveno with a 14-point performance in the first half so far. No problems with getting on track tonight. Snyder with the turnaround from 14, and he hits it, and it leads back to 3, and there's 12 seconds on the clock as Protiva inbounds, and Jeff Taylor overplays, but knocks it out of bounds off the referee. 9 seconds remain. Menlo inbound from the backcourt. They'll have to hurry to get that one shot off. Clock starts. Pay brings it up court. There's 5 seconds, whips it underneath, and it's batted out of bounds off of Anderson. 4 seconds remain. Menlo will inbound under their basket. Under the Anderson basket, actually. Pay will inbound it. So don't look for him to be taking the shot unless they get it right back to him. Protiva has it on the baseline. They've only got 3 seconds left. Reveno to Pay, and Pay gets it off, and there wasn't time. And Menlo either wasn't aware of the time or just tried to work one too many passes into that sequence there and didn't get the shot off at all. So at the end of the first half, the underdog Anderson Cubs have shown well against Menlo and have come back from an 8-point deficit to cut it to 3 at the end of the first half. It's Menlo 29 and Anderson 26. The Menlo Knights are just re-entering across the way, and we've got a little more than 3 minutes to go before the second half gets underway, and Pete Ebner is here to give us the halftime statistics and his own commentary about the first half of play.
Thanks, Ian. First, looking at the visitors, the Anderson Cubs, 20-4 on the season. At 1 forward was Todd Province, who picked up 7 points on a basket, all his scoring in the second quarter on a basket. And from the foul line, 2, 4, 6, he was 5 of 6 from the foul line for 7 points. For Max Snyder, his scoring was pretty much first and second quarter, a basket in the first, a basket in the second, 1 for 2 from the foul line in the second quarter, total of 5 points for Snyder. At center was Alex Rafalovich, and he had a basket in the first quarter for his first half scoring of 2 points. In the backcourt, Jeff Taylor at one guard, very even scoring, 2 baskets each quarter for a total of 8 points. And rounding out the starting 5 for Anderson, Jeff Davis with a basket first quarter for 2 total scoring for the first 5 for Anderson. That rounded out the total scoring for the first 5. For the subs, Tim Moore came in the first quarter as well as the second, but only scored 1 basket. Total scoring for Anderson, first half 26. For the Menlo Knights, they were led by Eric Reveneau with 14 points. And Eric had 2 baskets second quarter and 3 baskets first quarter. And from the foul line, 2, 4, 5, 6, he was 4 for 6. For John Pay, 2 baskets first quarter, and he was on the foul line the whole time in the second quarter for 5 points, 5 for 6 from the foul line. Total for John in the first half of 9 points. He was the second leading scorer for the Knights in the first half. Rounding out the starting 5, Drew Ferrando had a basket first quarter for 2, and total scoring first half for Menlo 29. Interesting comment. First quarter score was a 5-point lead for Menlo. Now they're down to a 3-point lead. It seems like it's going to will be a close game, Ian, in the second half. Just mentioning toward the end of the first half that although both teams are playing a man-to-man, they both match up pretty well, but John Pay has the ability to either drift back under the basket if he has to or come back out on top. So maybe it's a man-to-man for 4 plus 1, 1 on his own, man-to-man.
Yeah, it's could be a factor in the game late in the second half, Pete, if both teams remain in the man-to-man, in that when Menlo pulls a switch or forces a switch on the Anderson defense, they probably have a better chance of creating a mismatch, especially with the 6'7" center, Eric Reveneau. Well, there's only about less than a minute to go before the start of the second half as Menlo holds a 29-26 lead. Ready to start the second half. They've switched ends. Both teams come in with the same starting 5s that began the game. Anderson wins the tip, and going to the basket is Province, and Province puts it in. And for the first time since the teams were tied at 2, Anderson has closed the gap to 1 point. It's 29-28. Todd Province now has 9 points and becomes the leading scorer for Anderson, and Max Snyder makes a steal, and he's going all the way, and he's intimidated by Protiva and misses the layup. Rebound for Anderson. Going to the basket is Davis, and he's fouled on the way up. He'll go to the line, and Anderson has a chance to take the lead. Drew Ferrando picks up his second foul. A 2-shot try for Jeff Davis, and he ties it up. It's 29-29. Jeff Davis now has 3 points. And for the first time in the game, the Anderson Cubs have taken the lead, 30-29. 7:27 remaining in the third quarter. Anderson, who quickly fell behind 10-2 early, now have closed it to 30-29. Matt Halpern caught in the air on the baseline, scoops it to Eric Reveneau in the lane. Reveneau tosses it home. Menlo goes back on top, 31-30. Reveneau has 16 points. From the right side, it's Max Snyder. His shot is on the front rim, no good. Rafalovich loses the rebound to Pay. Outlet pass to Ferrando. Ferrando pulls up, puts it off the glass, no good. Protiva comes up with it and throws it in. Brian Protiva on the offensive rebound. Protiva unofficially had 3 rebounds in the first half. Now he's got 2 buckets, 4 points. 33-30 the lead now for Menlo. Davis drives to the basket. His shot is partially blocked by Revenue. Revenue comes down with the rebound. Revenue outlets it to Pay. Pay drives to the lane, gives to Ferrando on the baseline, and Ferrando brings it back out. Last week, against Aptos, the Knights fell behind in the first quarter, and there's a great alley-oop pass from Brian Protiva to Eric Revenue. Revenue filling the lane from left to right, had to throw it back over his shoulder on the layup. He's got 18 points, and it looks like it's going to turn out to be a phenomenal night for Eric Revenue, even if he stops scoring right now. And Protiva knocks the ball away. Brian Protiva's going all the way after the steal. Will he make the layup? No, he puts it up too hard. Pay comes down with the rebound. Pay hesitates, scoops it with both hands from the left side. It's no good. And coming down with the rebound is Province. Province outlets to Taylor. Taylor puts up a rainbow from the right perimeter, no good. Province comes down with the loose rebound, spins to the basket, puts it up too hard off the glass. It's out of bounds. Off who? Off of Anderson, and Menlo will inbound. Fast and furious action here. Again, Brian Protiva making the steal. And as he did against Jefferson, driving the length of the court, but laying it up too hard. Pay had the rebound, but couldn't follow it home. Menlo has a 5-point lead. I was beginning to say they fell behind in the first half against Aptos for the first time and quickly turned the game around right there. And Matt Halpern with the driving move to the basket from under the glass, lays it up and misses, but Revenue again is there to tip it home. And Eric Revenue, with 5:23 remaining in the third quarter, has reached the 20-point mark and is dominating this game. And quickly, Anderson has called a timeout after falling behind by 7 points. The scoreboard says 35-30, but I believe it's 37-30 for the Knights. Pete, we were just noting that as soon as Menlo fell behind, they seemed to change the tempo of the game very quickly, and since then have scored 8 straight points.
That's right, Ian, and I think that's the key right now here in the third quarter, that suddenly Menlo is up by 7 instead of being down by 3.
Absolutely. I think falling behind by a point was something that inspired the Knights and got them running, and again showing how they can control the tempo of the game. Now on the other end, Revenue rejects a Snyder shot after Snyder clutched once. Snyder gets back the rejection and throws up an air ball, which Pay comes down with. Eric Revenue, his high game for the season is 25 points. His high for the playoffs is 20 against Half Moon Bay. He has 20 already here. And we're not even midway through the third quarter, and he's not in any kind of foul trouble. Now he spins on the baseline, puts one up, no good. Ferrando comes down with the rebound. Fadeaway jumper, no good. Pay gets the tip on the rebound, puts it up over his shoulder, no good, and Revenue tips it in. 4 shots for Menlo there, dominating on the offensive boards, and wouldn't you know it tonight, Eric Revenue is the one who finally puts it home for Menlo. 22 points now for Eric Revenue. Spin hook by Max Snyder on the other end. Halpern can't come down with the rebound as he's batted away by Moore. Moore comes up with it, gives it to Province. This is Taylor. Now Moore in the lane, it's partially deflected. That was Snyder. Pay comes down with the rebound. He's got 8 rebounds for the night. He drives all the way to lane. It's stolen from behind. He hands to Halpern. Halpern clutches, and his shot is blocked, but he's going to the line, and it is getting him from behind. Oh no, it's going to be called a jump ball as coming over from behind, Todd Province got a hand on the ball and forced Halpern to go down with it. 4 minutes even remaining in the third quarter now. Province controls the tip. It goes to Taylor, to Moore. Moore from the right side, swish. That ends a string of 10 straight points from Menlo after falling behind 30-29. They ran off 10 straight. They now lead 39-32. Something that Menlo hasn't done during the playoffs is happening tonight, in which they've gone back to their early season pattern of having Eric Revenue and John Pay dominate the scoring. And Pay drives to the basket, missing the layup, but Eric Revenue is there filling the lane, and he tips it home. 2 more points for Eric Revenue, and if he gets another bucket, he'll set his season high. He's got 24. Lob pass for Revenue. Revenue comes down with it, and he walks. Goes up in the air. The ball is tipped in his hands, and Revenue couldn't do anything with it. And that is Todd Province getting the offensive rebound and throwing it home. 41-34, the lead's back down to 7 now for the Knights. 9 was their biggest of the night there. Todd Province has 11 points, and Menlo doesn't want to get any more points shaved off this lead. With 2:20 remaining in the third quarter, they call timeout while they're holding a 41-34 lead. Pete, you've got a comment here.
I have a feeling, Ian, that Menlo appears to be in control of the game at this point. I like the play of Revenue. He seems to be getting those tips. And he, all around, a well-played game by Eric tonight at center. It just seems like he's seems to be keeping the whole unit together. Even when they were in a little bit of trouble when they lost the lead, he was still doing well under the boards, and he just seems to be relaxed both offensively and defensively, and certainly his point total of 22 so far is really indicative of the fine work that he's done.
All right, Eric Revenue, I believe has 24 is what he has, and it'll be interesting to note whether the defensive presence of the 6'5" Alex Rafalovic will hold him back. Menlo had gone into the spread, and Matt Halpern had remained underneath. Protiva steals the inbounds pass and lays it up, and he's called for the charge, leaning back into Jeff Taylor. Menlo had gone into a spread, and the entire Anderson unit, it seemed, came out to meet the ball and left Halpern alone on the baseline. He got the ball from Ferrando, drove to the basket, and put it home. Brian Protiva picked up his third foul there on the charge. Again, Protiva stealing the inbounds pass, something that perhaps no one in the peninsula is his equal at. Tim Moore cans it for Anderson, cuts the lead to 7 again. There's 1:40 remaining in the third quarter. Menlo spreading the offense a little. Protiva has it down low, and someone's called for the foul, and it's going to be Protiva. And I think correctly, Protiva's picked up his 4th foul as he found his way blocked on the left side and had to drive under the basket and ran right over the Anderson guard. 3rd team foul on Menlo. Score is 43-36, and David Dove is up off the bench for Menlo. From the free throw line, that's number 20, Tim Jacobson. He cuts the lead to 5. Into the corners. This is Protiva down low. This is sort of a more attacking four corners offense that Menlo's into right now. Revenue misses the shot from the baseline. It's rebounded by Rafalovic. Jacobson pulls up, goes to Taylor. Jacobson from 19. High bounce off the rim, no good. Revenue swats the rebound away, and Halpern controls it. Menlo slows down. There's 40 seconds remaining now in the third quarter. Menlo holds a 43-38 lead. They go into the corners, Pay in the middle. They've got 3 men out facing it, but they're not challenging it hard as of this time. Bounce pass down low to Pay. It's almost deflected. Pay drives in the lane. The ball's stolen. 20 seconds left. Taylor's got a one-on-one. Ferrando's his man to beat. He tries to go around him from the left side, and they call the charge. And I'm not sure that's the correct call. I thought Drew Ferrando was still backing up, but Taylor picks up his 2nd foul, and there's 18 seconds left, and Menlo can still work for that last shot. Fitzpatrick enters the game, and Protiva sits down. He's got 4 fouls. Ferrando lobs it across to Fitzpatrick. There's only 6 seconds left. Pay fills the lane, throws it up, and it hits the bottom of the rim, and he's fouled on his way, and there's 2 seconds remaining, and Pay will be going to the line. significantly, that was Alex Rafalovic, who just drew his 4th foul and had to leave the game again. And certainly his presence tonight has made a great difference in the effectiveness of Eric Reveneau. While Reveneau has been effective all night, he's been completely dominant with Rafalovic absent. Pay hits both ends of the 2 free throws. He's got 11 on the night. Anderson inbounds. This is a long, what you might call an incomplete or overthrown pass by Tim Jacobson to end the 3rd quarter. And the 2 free throws by John Pay up the lead to 7 again. There's only 8 points to play in this Northern California semifinal here in Stockton. And the Knights lead the Cubs 45-38. The Knights are so far not only dominating on the court, but dominating even more in the rooting section. The Nightmares have the crowd making plenty of noise. Anderson controls the tip. Eric Reveneau, the leading scorer of the game, has 24 points. And Menlo's gone into the zone. First time tonight, as far as I can tell, unless I haven't been observing very closely. That was Tim Jacobson hitting the shot from about 18 on the right side. Cuts the lead back to 5. He's got 4 points on the night. David Dove had gotten up off the bench towards the end of the 3rd quarter, but now he's back down and has his sweats back on. So we'll have to see. Menlo has gone to the 4 corners, and I expect that they'll use this throughout most of the 4th quarter. They had a 2-on-1 under the basket, but Reveneau overthrew Matt Halpern. Halpern did a good job of retrieving it. Todd Province knocks the ball out of bounds. Menlo inbound. They've already gotten 55 seconds off the clock here in the 4th quarter. They lead by 5. Fitzpatrick and Ferrando and Pay are all in the game. Protiva remains out as he's got 4 fouls. Todd Province is the leading scorer for Anderson. He's got 11. And that foul, Tim Jacobson picks up the foul. He's got 3. He hasn't had that much playing time tonight either, but he's picked up 3 fouls in the limited time he's had. Pay filling the lane, driving, putting up a 5-footer, and he's fouled on his way up. There seemed to be very incidental contact, but John will be going to the line. John Pay at the line trying to pad a 5-point lead for Menlo. Nails this one. The scoring pattern in this game has been quite similar to that of the game against Aptos, in which, while the game has remained close throughout, Menlo has had the lead for almost the entirety, with Anderson going ahead at only 1 point at only one moment by 1 point, the same as Aptos did last week. Reveneau controls the rebound after it's tipped. Reveneau unofficially with 10 rebounds tonight. He's been averaging a little over 13 per game throughout the playoffs. Menlo with the 7-point lead now. And as long as they're in this 4 corners, Anderson really can't afford to miss a shot. Ferrando drives into the lane, puts one up from 14. It rolls around and off, and coming down with the rebound is Tim Moore. He goes to Taylor. 5:55 remaining. Moore on the right side. Menlo's gone to the 1-2-2 they used against Jefferson in the second half. The shot by Moore is no good. Snyder with the rebound, puts up a hook, no good. Ferrando gets the rebound. Drew Ferrando has 3 rebounds on the night from his guard slot. John Pay with the quick dribble on top. Gets it right back from Ferrando. Drives past Tim Moore into the basket, into the lane. Bounce pass down low to Halpern. Halpern pumps once, fades away, goes to the basket and is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Matt Halpern with a 4-point night so far, going to the line for the first time tonight. Importantly, Menlo has now gone into the bonus shooting situation, which means that Anderson, if they choose to foul Menlo to bring them out of their 4 corners offense, will be sending Menlo to the charity line each time. and Halpern hits both, and Menlo's got a 9-point lead, equals their biggest of the night. Jeff Taylor counters with the 19-footer. 49-42. Taylor's got 10 points on the night. But Anderson's going to have to come up with some excellent defense and quick baskets. There's less than 5 minutes left. They trail by 7 points, and Menlo is in the four corners offense, which they do better than anyone. Ferrando drives to the top of the key and throws it back out to John Pay. This is what they love to do from this position. Drive towards the middle as if they're going to move to the basket and bring it right back out and kill some more time. Force the offense to, or the defense to come out at them and then get it down low like that to Eric Reveneau, who has 26 points on the night and has hit a new season high for him. Maybe a new career mark. I don't know what his high was last year. And Anderson calls timeout in the forecourt. 4:14 remains, and it's the Knights 51 and the Anderson Cubs 42.
Ian, I'd like to maybe say that it's John Pay driving the four-corner offense, but when Menlo goes into that offense, it seems like the opposing teams that in these playoffs really don't go after them, and maybe that's a problem. That if they did go after them, maybe things would have changed, might have changed for Aptos, but here we go again.
Pete, that's an excellent point. I was watching the videotape of the Aptos game in the Menlo coach's office, and some of the coaches were astounded at the fact that Aptos just let Menlo run that four corners offense without coming out to challenge it at all, and it may have cost them the game. Pay comes down with the loose ball and tries to throw the pass across court to Drew Ferrando, and his pass goes off of Anderson, and the referee right there apparently rules that it just scored it out of Pay's hands. Anderson will have another shot. We're down to 3:40 remaining. Anderson trails by 9. They can't afford to play around with it too much. Jeff Davis puts one up off the glass too high, gets his own rebound back, pumps, and walks. Walks in the lane as he hesitated and tried to get Reveneau off the ground. Menlo retains a 9-point lead. Well, thus far, the presence of David Dove hasn't changed the strategy of Al Klein at all tonight, as Al hasn't even used Dave. And not to just take away from Dave's playing at all, but I think that that's a good thing. The fact that Dove hasn't played just shows that perhaps perhaps Coach Al Klein thinks that he won't quite fit into the offense yet. And after all, he has only been out for a week, and it wouldn't exactly be fair to take away from the playing time of the other players who have been out for up to 3 months. And now Menlo doesn't get it across within 10 seconds. And Anderson will have a chance to cut the lead to 5 after getting it down to 7 on the last basket. Todd Province canned that last basket. He's got 13 now for Anderson. On top it goes to Davis, and Pay makes the clean steal. Pay on the breakaway, driving all the way, pulls it up over the head to Protiva, and Protiva lays it in. If John Pay actually knew what he was doing there, it was one of the most astounding plays I've seen all season. I'm not sure whether that was an intended pass or whether the ball got knocked out of his hands and just happened to go into the hands of Brian Protiva. Todd Province cans it from 18. It's 53-46, a 7-point lead. That had to be the greatest assist of the season if it was intentional. Matt Halpern is boxed in on the baseline, goes back out to Protiva, and Menlo goes to the four corners. There's 2:09 left. They lead by 7, 53-46. And Jeff Davis getting aggressive on the four corners. Slaps Drew Ferrando and sends Ferrando to the charity line. 2:05 remains. Ferrando going to the line. 1-on-1 situation, and it curls around and bounces and falls through. And Drew's got his 3rd point of the night. Drew averaging about 6 points a game through the playoffs. And though Drew, as far as statistics go, doesn't appear to be a vital factor in the Menlo offense or in the Menlo scheme of things, he runs the offense from his point guard position and gets the whole play moving when they are running from that set position. An offensive rebound for Anderson, and coming down together are Matt Halpern and Tim Moore, and they'll jump it at the free throw line. .55-46, Halpern wins the tip. Ferrando controls it at the other end, almost walks but doesn't, and throws it up from his chest. He was slowed down from behind by Jeff Taylor, but a great move by Drew Ferrando as he pulled up in the air to avoid the walk and threw it in off the glass from his chest. Somehow, Revenue comes down with the rebound. That's number 11 on the night. Protiva brings it up court. Menlo's got an 11-point lead. That's their biggest night. There's only 1:19 left. And I would have to say that the Knights have this one in hand and that we're probably going to Oakland tomorrow night. John Pay in the middle. Sends it to Revenue down low, and it gets out of Eric's hands. There's 1:06 left. Following this game will be Modesto and Hayward. Modesto ranked 7th in the state by Cal High Sports. Ball's loose. The winner of that game will apparently face the Knights tomorrow night in Oakland at 5:30 at the Oakland Coliseum. Pete, you got a comment?
As I look down at the Menlo offense, they're unselfish as well as having 5 well-balanced players. Ian, really.
I think that's something that's been a key all year to the Menlo offense, is that every one of them is able to score and pass, and they really have a great ability to look for the man who's hot. For instance, tonight it's Eric Revenue. There's 30 seconds left, and Menlo's on top 57-48. And the steal is made from behind by Davis, but Protiva retains possession, and he's fouled by Todd Province, and Protiva will go to the line with 23 seconds remaining, and Menlo leading 57-48. Brian Protiva's first of 2 curls around and out. Brian has only 6 points tonight. He's cold from the line tonight. And this one he puts home. So Brian's just 1 of 5 from the line tonight. Filling the lane is Taylor. He goes to Davis, and Davis is going to the basket, but his ball is knocked out of his hands. And Anderson will get it back. There's 16 seconds left. Menlo has a 10-point lead. Davis on top, too short off the rim. Revenue can't control the rebound. The shot by Province is no good, and then the ball's knocked out of bounds. 8 seconds remain between now and Oakland. And there's a foul in the backcourt. Move it to the other end. The Menlo fans are living it up across the way. They're excited about going to Oakland tomorrow night too. The winner of that game tomorrow will travel to Los Angeles next Saturday for the state title. John Pay at the line for 1-1, hits the first. John's got 14 on the night now. 59-48. The 11-point margin, perhaps a little bit unfair. While Menlo did dominate and lead throughout almost the entire game, the lead didn't get beyond 7 or 9 until the very end of the game, and they're going to count that basket at the end, but it really doesn't matter because the buzzer has sounded, and the final score is the Knights 60 and the Anderson Cubs 50. We'll be back with the final comment in just a moment.
Scores of the completed game
60-50, the final score here from the Spanos Center at UOP in Stockton in the NorCal Division II semifinal. Pete Ebner's here to read the final scoring stats for Menlo and Anderson in this semifinal match. Menlo, again, in a game similar to last week, dominated throughout, but didn't really pull away until the fourth quarter, which they entered with a 7-point lead and went to the four corners to control the tempo as they did throughout the game. Pete, you're here with the stats.
Okay, for Anderson, which now leaves the tournament trail behind, they were led by Todd Province, the forward, who finished with 15 points. And their most valuable player, or I should say in the league, Jeff Taylor, at guard, finished with 12 points. And for Menlo, they were led by the reliable center, Eric Revenot, with 26 points. And we think that's probably a new high for Eric on the season, or maybe his career. For John Pay, he finished with 15 points. And there were two of the keys that when some of the other fellows aren't shooting, it has to be Revenot and Pay to pick up the slack. And I think one of the noticeable differences for Menlo in the second half was that Coach Al Klein called for the zone, and maybe that gave the team a little more time to, maybe they were tired out, and that gave them a chance to regroup and rest up a little bit, so to speak, if you're playing basketball with a zone rather than a man-to-man, which requires more energy, more physical effort. So that's it. Ian, back to you.
Okay, once again, the final score here from Stockton, the Menlo Knights 60 and the Anderson Cubs 50, and tomorrow night they'll be in the Northern California Finals in Oakland, California.